Next on deck with Tim Black.
But first,
I mean, this is extraordinary. So this was received the day before he was killed.
Yeah, look, I mean, we were beefing. We were going at it online, on air, and then after he died, after he was murdered, my team called and said, Van, he was trying to reach you, man. What? And what was he doing? Dialogue. Let's be gentlemen together. He says, let's disagree agreeably. So I'm sitting on this and I'm watching the whole country talk about civil war, censorship, justifying murder about this guy. This guy is reaching out to his mortal enemy saying we need to be gentlemen, sit down together and disagree agreeably. And the next day he's killed. And I've sat on it long enough and I just said, you know what? We're going to Memorial Weekend for this man. We disagree. Everybody knows we were not friends, okay, at all. But you praise the good when it's time to memorialize somebody. And what he did, and I didn't even know it, was good. He was not for censorship. He was not for civil war. He was not for violence. He was for dialogue, open debate and dialogue, even with me. Even with me. And I think what happens is people get so worked up, Anderson, seeing us go at it. They think they're supposed to go out and kill somebody, or go out and talk about civil war, or go out and silence people, or cancel people, or fire people, or censor people. About Charlie Kirk, Mr. Debate, I did not agree with him on literally almost anything. But we were words, not weapons, guys. We were words, not weapons, guys. And we were getting into a position where we could get some real debate going, whether it's going to be on CNN, on his show. That wasn't worked out. But I would have taken him up. I wanted to beat Charlie Kirk in a debate. I didn't want somebody to shoot him. That's how we do it in America. And the idea that now people on both sides are justifying murders and calling for civil wars, we got to calm this down, Anderson. We need to calm this down. We need to lower the temperature. Yes, we disagree, but like he said, we can disagree agreeably. That's his last words to me. Let's disagree agreeably. We have a choice now. This could be the beginning of us getting off of this pathway, but the pathway we're on, Anderson, is scary. It's about more violence. It's about more retribution. It's about more censorship. It's about more of everything that nobody wants, but we can't seem to get off of it. Charlie Kirk in his last message to me was pointing a way out. Civil discourse.
I think if Charlie Kirk were alive today, we never know anything about this message. Before we go any further, let me let you know the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. I think if Charlie Kirk were alive today, we never know anything about this message. That's what I believe. That being said, I'm glad you shared it. It kind of dovetails into something I was saying the first day, maybe the second day, when we were covering the Charlie Kirk shooting. I don't think Charlie Kirk believed everything he said, not the way you think he did. And I think Charlie Kirk may have had a lot more nuance than people are led to believe, and that people want to win. And I think Charlie Kirk was a very competitive person. And there's a way to win in this business. And people want to win, and people want to be winners, and they learn what you need to do in order to win in whatever role you're in. I think that's more the truth about who Charlie Kirk was. It won't do well. I haven't been able to really say that much because, well, look, folks, to be honest, the truth is most people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what they want to hear, and they don't want no nuance. You know, me saying what I said after being in this business, as long as Charlie Kirk has been in the business, I've been in this business, and I know what's necessary to win. You got to be willing to do those things. Not everybody's willing to beat Charlie Kirk. And we see how it turned out for him. Most people, it doesn't turn out that way. I don't think he expected that. I think if he knew that was going to happen, he would have quit long ago. I don't listen to the rhetoric these people are spewing. And I believe that the truth, the people on both sides don't want to hear it. If I say, hey, man, Charlie didn't believe all that stuff he's saying. He wasn't this, he wasn't that, he wasn't these other things. All the supporters of Charlie be mad. Because to them, they live through that vicariously. They want this fantastical superhero, whatever this is, that they idolize. And to the people that despise Charlie, some of them for good reasons, because some of the things he said, they don't want to hear that he was playing a role either. They don't want to hear that there is a certain, they don't want to, when I was first starting in corporate America, when I first got my first job, I was working at this company in Arlington, Virginia, first or second job, I think it was. Anyway, I had this guy, he was from New Hampshire. He never been around black people ever before. He was a white guy. His name is Bill Davis. His name is real common, so you never find him. And I remember when we shook hands, Bill said, Tim, later he revealed to me, I was the first black man's hand he'd ever shaken. Where he lived, there were no black people. This was like 1990 something, early 90s, and this existed in America. Long time ago. And I remember he used to come to school, come to the job in these nice Brooks Brothers suits. And everybody marveled at the way he dressed. And I'd have on a shirt and a tie and an old pair of slacks or something I could piece together. I was like, and we got into a conversation one time, and I was like, man, but look at you, Bill. Look how you're dressed, man. You fit the mold, brother. You doing this, you doing that. He said, Tim, I wear this because this is the uniform. I don't want to wear this shit. If it was up to me, I'd be wearing some shorts and some Doc shoes or something, and a cut-off T-shirt, man, an old T-shirt. Some cut-off shorts, an old T-shirt, some Docker deck shoes, that's what they call deck shoes or something, and some sunglasses. I wouldn't be dressed like this, Tim. This is how you have to dress where I come from if people want to take you seriously in corporate. It's a uniform, Tim. That's it. This is not me. I believe there's a lot of black Americans, because America's so damn segregated. You haven't had a Bill Davis give you the inside. Tell you really like that their experience is different. And all I'm saying is that white people be selling out too. That's all I'm saying. Now back to Van. Back to Van. Just recognize when we talk about black people selling out, white folks sell out too. They do things for money too. Okay? And I believe in success, in power. For God's sake, people were talking about Charlie Kirk could be president. I got people comparing him to Obama. I mean, I know. Back to Van Jones. Van Jones said something that I think that did strike me a certain way. He said, I wanted to beat Charlie Kirk in a debate. I didn't want someone to shoot him. I feel that. You know, because I believe that there's some of us who are so, we look at these words, the game of words, the war of words. We look at it and we are focused on it and we ride it. We look at it with intense expectation. We look at it ready to go into battle. We look at it like it's a literal war and that it's so important and it's so damaging and it can hurt our people. We look at the plight. We look at where black people are, what black Americans have been through, that there's been an entire industry. America, since Birth of a Nation, since the movie Birth of a Nation, media in America has been hell-bent on depicting black people in the most negative ways. Ever since we got our freedom in this country, there have been entire industries. There's been a concerted effort by those that create propaganda to paint us negatively. This has not been the case with white people. So they can look at media and they can look at words as really words. Fun times, debates. You know, the great debaters, you pick a side. You don't have to believe in the side. In fact, people like picking in a debate challenge, they want to be on the side they don't really believe in to show how good they are at debating. It's like being a real good shooter. You playing against somebody and you be a right-handed shooter, and you're going to say, I'm going to only shoot with my left to show you how good I am. That's how good I am. That's how much better than you that I am. I could play only with my left and still beat you. So as I was watching this Van Jones thing, man, a part of me is disappointed. I'm disappointed in Van, of course, only because, like, he always finds a way. He always finds a way to win, doesn't he? Van Jones finds a way to win. He finds a way to turn what could be a negative situation for himself into a positive. And how does he do that? Cozy up to the guy. But he has to thread the needle. I mean, people be knocking Van, but I gotta say, he's savvy. He cries when he needs to. He feigns being pissed off when he needs to. He knows how to act that way. And here, look how he threads the needle. He gives Charlie Kirk his props as a human being, as a family man, and these other things, and then compliments him on extending a fig leaf, so to speak, was willing to have a debate without drama and was doing so amicably and with what appears to be good intentions, but still say, hey, I don't agree with the guy. Hey, we didn't agree on anything. And no, we're not friends. No. Because he already knows. He has to thread the needle and walk the line in such a way. But Van Jones, fam, is really good at this. This is a guy that got up, who had a show on CNN for Democrats and liberals, who, when Trump gave a State of the Union address that wasn't horrible, Van Jones got up and said, he became president today. And everybody, they sent D.L. Hughley at this guy with one of those hats, one of those helmets on it, with a big knife sticking out the top of it. And D.L. Hughley ran at Van Jones. And Van Jones just did D.L. Hughley like one of those great matadors. He just did him like D.L. Hughley was the bull, the bull in rage running at him. And Van Jones just did him like... Go that way, little man. Go that way, little comedy man. Go that way, Kamala's friend. So, yeah, I'm not that upset with Van Jones. I was, how can I say it? I got what I expect out of Van Jones in this situation. You're not going to get Van Jones is not the guy that's going to come out and be bold and say some things like really revolutionary. That's not, if you do that, you don't get, how much, was it $100 million? Somebody put in the chat how much money Jeff Bezos gave Van Jones to invest in whatever people or projects. Somebody put the number in the chat for me. I forget how much it was. It's a lot of money. All I'm saying is, how much money did Van Jones get to do that? Was it $100 million or was it $50 million? Anybody know? Anybody know? Okay. I ain't gonna say. I don't know. There it is. That's what there you go. Now, it was more than 1 million, fam. Here it goes. $100 million. That's the point. Van Jones got $100 million that he could help and allocate the way he wants to allocate it. That's what it's for. It didn't go into his personal account. People don't get this. It did not go into his personal account. He can't just go buy a yacht. And people, he can use the money and to invest in other nonprofits. He's supposed to use it for programs or some way to enrich other people and do with it. He's supposed to do stuff with it. So Van Jones is a kingmaker. You don't get to be a kingmaker by speaking the truth in the United States, unless your truth is like Charlie Kirk. But Charlie Kirk became a kingmaker because he was doing what Van Jones is doing. Charlie Kirk is Van Jones, and Van Jones is Charlie Kirk. That's what I want you to get. I want you to understand they're the same people. They are the same people. They both say what they need to say in order to get what they want, the outcomes that they're trying to receive. And if anything, I believe that, and this is going to be hard to take, Charlie Kirk was more likely to buck the system than Van Jones. Yeah, Charlie Kirk would have been more likely to buck the system and go against his handlers before Van Jones because Charlie Kirk is white. And that may be why we had a memorial today. But you can bet this, you ain't gonna hear Van Jones really bucking the system, man. He might say a couple things. The Democrats need to be less against censorship, or the Democrats need to reach across the aisle, or the Democrats need to XYZ, but he ain't gonna be like, we need to stop funding Israel. He ain't gonna be like, stop giving Ukraine money. And he damn sure ain't gonna be like, reparations! With his whole chest. Nah, Van ain't gonna do nothing stupid like that. So in that way, whatever that equates for Charlie Kirk, however that fits into where he stands, where he stood. If I had to bet, if I would have been able to bet, I would put money that Kirk would be more willing to go down the bumpy path, to go against the grain than Van Jones. That's just my thoughts. And once again, this is just a conversation. This is just my opinion. I got no way to validate this. I believe it. It's the first thing that comes to mind. I think it's a thought-out analysis about the Van Jones thing. There is camaraderie in the sportsmanship. And you and I, there's a certain level of sportsmanship I must maintain to even be in the game, because there are things I can say when my channel be gone tomorrow. So there's a level of sportsmanship I gotta maintain. Now give it. That's like 10%. There's just certain things I gotta avoid saying to avoid third rail. But Charlie Kirk and Van Jones have a level. That's why Charlie Kirk can write him and say, hey man, we could get together and have a conversation. Let's do it like brothers, like friends. We don't have to go at each other. We can be like gentlemen and discuss this. We both here to play the game. That's why he sat down with Dr. Cornel West. And that's why Candace Jones sat down with Stephen A. Smith. Why do you think everybody been sitting down, Johnson? And when they sat down, did anybody ask any really harsh questions? Did anybody be like, so what's up with all this shit you said about Juneteenth? What do you mean, black people, it's a ghetto holiday? What's that mean? Like, no one asked these tough questions. No one punched them in the mouth with questions like that. And that's why they were willing to sit down with the people they sat down with, because those people are not going to ask those type of tough questions, because it's a game. They are playing positions, even if they do believe certain thoughts, even if they do have certain stances. They are not us. They are not like us. They are not us. It's like world wrestling, some of it. I know some of y'all still think wrestling is real. Some of you do. Yeah, they train real. You can really get hurt, and you can make real money. But It's not real as boxing is. It's not real as UFC. Have you seen UFC? Compare that to Hulk Hogan's days of wrestling. The Rock's wrestling. I'm saying, I seen a brother's leg go that way. His body was faced this way. He got kicked and his leg went that way. That was not special effects. That was not CGI. You know what I'm saying? That was real.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.